Bum, ba, 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 ba. Hello, hey, hi everybody, social media family being whatsoever racist, but then not necessarily being whatever walks of life, faction of society, lifestyle preferences. And likewise I say to, you know, or in a similar sort of way, that is I greet any visitors to that being on my own social media channel and as well chat room or comment section, you know, being of whom could possibly be whatsoever racist, but then possibly all the same be whatever walks of life, faction of society, lifestyle preferences. But hopefully none of my social media family or subscribers are, you know, whatsoever walks of life, factions of society, lifestyle preferences, in addition to being whatever racist. Okay. How are you all doing? Well, hopefully everyone is doing at least okay. Not better yet to be said, to be feeling all right, or if not best of all to be said, to be feeling blessed and stressed. More blessed and stressed, or too blessed to possibly become or be stressed. You and yours, or family and friends, or hopefully me and mine. Likewise, as well, all the same. Well, hopefully anybody would be feeling much better than what I myself, than that my person could possibly be feeling like as a pregnant long time. You know, if you look at matters from one, there's in one regard, it's not enough. From one point of view, it's not. It's said well, and vice versa. Then, because as I explained to you all in a former previous prior social media broadcast of video, whereas I myself had been given walking papers, you know, being of a non-renewal paper document, as in non-renewal of apartment rental lease paper document. So I say, to be much more specific, is what I meant to say. Yes, correction. Being of which is similar to that being of a literal, actual eviction notice, or could possibly be considered as being that of a nature. And due to a misunderstanding that had developed between me, or I myself, and the management of the building, you know, the state representative personnel having confused me with the proverbial, there's one proverbial neighbor from hell among the public use of the problem neighbors for the likes of his kind, who continue to violate their own apartment rental leases, and at the same time, all the while they would think to disrespect the rights and privileges of their fellow neighbors or other tenants or residents. So now I'm having to move in due time, as I have only so much time given to me, allotted, being a which is for, you know, a quarter of a year to one third of a year, 2 or 3 months, give or take, you know. And so what I'm trying to do as a president more time is, you know, wait for my moving papers to arrive at my place of residence in paper form, the same documents as that being, so that I could from there begin my apartment searching. Otherwise, it would make no use to do so before then. If I don't have the moving papers, you know, because I don't want to disappoint any landlords, you know, that could possibly be looking forward to getting things in motion, from having me view whatever available apartment vacancies to having me fill out and sign paperwork documents, not only of my moving paper package, but also their own, you know, so that the business transaction at hand could be possibly negotiated and agreed upon between both parties, both the two parties being a landlord and tenant, you know, because it would really not serve much of any legit reason or purpose or be any worthwhile endeavor for me to get to searching for available vacancies of apartments if I don't literally actually have the moving papers, uh, paperwork documents literally actually in my hands in the physical sense of the word, you know, so that I can make sure that I get the necessary business taken care of. Then, of which is to try to get myself into a new place of residence before the deadline, which I have until the first month of the summer season for this calendar year to do just that before I would be kicked to the curb or bounced up out of here, you know. And where, this nigga from hell got what he wished, because of the improper, unprofessional conduct of behavior upon the part of the landlord or management or real estate representative personnel. You know, not that I mean to possibly contradict what this particular present social media broadcast is supposed to be about, or the video regarding making reference to that, which would complement, you know, the name title and as well the footnotes to the side. But I just thought that I should mention all that other, you know, as part of a preliminary exercise, giving you all the basic intro or introduction, you know, in addition to asking you all how your persons are doing, but also filling you in about what's been happening in my life most recently. You know, being of the same in the said question of the former previous or prior mentioned. But then now that they got that out the way, let me get on with the verbatim exercise. Otherwise, that would, if anything, more complement the name title for this particular social media broadcast or video or whatever one wants to make of it, as well as the footnotes to the side will do the same as the name title up above this here particular social media broadcast video. And regardless of whether or not I were to speak upon anything else for that matter, depending on how I feel, but first and foremost, let me, you know, kick this off and nip it in the bud. Then we'll take it from there. Otherwise, I just, conclude, get a conclusion, in due time. Likewise, so as well. Okay. But then, anyway, though, and now that I have gotten that off my chest or out of my system, then let me begin for the content of this present social media broadcast as we have it, you know. And if any of you all have been watching the news lately, President Vladimir Putin of the former ex-Soviet Union, a.k.a. u.s.s.r, and as it is now just known as Russia, with as many different breakaway provinces. Well, I don't know whether or not the Ukraine could literally actually be considered as being officially a breakaway province of Russia, but nevertheless, Vladimir Putin, as President Vladimir Putin of Russia, had ordered the Soviet or Russian military to invade the Ukraine, or the province of a sovereign nation or democratic republic or democracy, you know, to supposedly make it once again a part of Russia, you know, and to the great disappointment of the rest of the global community of other countries and nations. And that is including even so equally as well, you know, especially as you know, President Vladimir Putin, the Russian president, Vladimir Putin has won or earned the disdain or you know, has become rather stench in the nostrils of our own bureaucratic State Department, the Continental Democratic Republic of Democracy, the USA. But at the same time, our own country nation does not want to step foot on the ground within that country nation. No, out of thoughts that it could start World War III between both those two particular superpowers, being that of our own Democratic Republic of Democracy of the USA and that of the former ex-Soviet Union, a.k.a. u.s.s.r. If American military troops were ordered by politicians to set foot upon the soil of the province of the Ukraine in the midst of this conflict between those two countries or nations otherwise. Then it comes to President Vladimir Putin's decision to order the Soviet Russian military to attack the province of the Ukraine, whereas our own president-elect had gone about with that on his part, being of which is to, you know, from there order that of something, what they call it, a blockade or something, Russian item products, whereas anything coming from Russia is not permitted into the USA to be made available to any patronizing customers who possibly wish to make purchases of this or that, or as it has been sanctioned in one regard, not more with more. And thanks to President Vladimir Putin, who is or could possibly be now destroying Mother Russia by how it is not permitted to deal in trade commerce with the rest of countries or nations representing the global community. Yes. So things are pretty much so at a standstill, so to speak. And in a time of war during a siege, if food items run out, then people or person could resort to cannibalism. That's the eating of human flesh. God forbid. Albeit because President Vladimir Putin wants to declare war on the Ukraine. You know, it's one man declared war on Ukraine, where there's no other subordinates up under him that could contest his order in that line of thought. So Vladimir Putin, you need to get out of Russia if you're not going to, get it together. You need to get out of there because you're angering more than quite a few others. You're destroying a part. It's just like when it's, when the Soviet Union, u.s.s.r, Russia had attacked, the Ukraine. It's like I'm sorry. I kind of like I suppose a nod out there. It's like this one neighbor from hell that's pumping some kind of knockout gas from a place via that of a ventilation system or something, maybe through a fan, etc. Could be like through a crack in my door up under for the bottom base of my door. But then getting back to some such other. So Putin is acting like a real cheap creep, Yeah. And has escalated the war against the province, country, and nation of Ukraine by having the Red Army of the Russian military bomb civilian populations. Isn't that something? I mean, isn't that whack? I mean, that's crazy. That's insane. Yeah. One dictator of the Russian, the Russian country, the nation, the chief politician for that particular one to be coming off like a modern day Adolf Hitler. That's what he's coming off as. So Putin, if you Putin, if you're watching this and listen to it, stop doing that. Stop ordering that of the Red Army, Russian military to attack the Ukraine. It's not. I say it is not to the benefit of Russia. It puts Russia at a great disadvantage. Stop doing that, Putin. Stop doing that, Putin. Hey, stop doing that. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you right now? What's wrong with you? Stop doing that. You're destroying Mother Russia. So I say, as a mixed breed, unofficial Polish Russian citizen, but then yet as an official American citizen. Stop doing it, Putin. You stinking to high heaven with all that on your part. Seriously though. Yeah, you stinking like a proverbial neighbor from damn hell. A probably problem neighbor with his creeping a weirdo, sicko, psycho, lunatic maniac, psychopath, sociopath, sadomasochist, sadist, cowardly bully, and terrorist wannabe self. Stop it, Putin. Stop it, Putin. I say stop it. You hear? Then because you can't have any Putin if you don't eat your meat. You hear? Putin. You can't have any Putin if you don't eat your meat. All in all, you're just a cowardly dictator, like so. What's wrong with you, Putin? Say, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You don't know what you're doing. You know, what you're doing is wrong. It's not only, I say, it's not only affecting, you know, it is not only affecting Ukrainians and Russians, but it's affecting citizens of other countries or nations representing the global community. Stop it, Putin. Stop it. You hear Putin? Stop it. You know, just imagine the Russian citizens are like, oh, please, no, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Putin, don't rape me. Don't harm me. No. I'll give you what you want, but don't do this to me. No. As you would remind Russian citizens of the likes of a male sexual predator animal monster character. Not only Russian citizens, but citizens for other countries and nations, likewise representing the global community within its post-911 era of our new millennium, the apocalyptic day and age where the noonday clock is now at a couple few minutes to midnight compared on to our foreign periods prior to then. It was at a quarter midnight for these rather good prophetic times. No, Putin, no. I don't want you to meet Putin. Please, and don't attempt to go with my Putin. No, please, Putin. Please, get off me. No, stop it. And where Putin be like, put your hand down. Put your hand down. Rub it up. Put your hand down. Putin down. Stop Putin down. Putin, a former ex-KGB agent. I can imagine that. You know, attempting to start World War III. You know, good thing that the United States of America has decided to not give the Ukraine its wish to make that the Ukraine a no-fly zone. Otherwise, you know, that's another way for World War III to start, as well as if the United States of America were to order the U.S. military to set foot in the Ukraine, whereas the two superpowers would be added, you know, from there. And everybody better get on, everybody that has a mind to, each and every person had better get upon their knees and pray to God that this planet Earth, the world, don't go up in one big atomic or nuclear mushroom cloud ball. You understand what I'm saying? Stop it, Putin. Stop putting Putin down. Get your hand down. Ukrainians, get your hands down. Please. Giving Ukrainians the kiss of death. Get your hands down. I get it. Ukraine, you're doing a bad rendition of Jim Morrison, Putin. And Ukraine, I want to screw you. that rock star president putting Putin of Russia say for that one gig? He said he wants to screw Mother Russia. What? You'll never be able to get a gig in the global community again. Get the fuck out of here. Boom, 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 boom. Riders on a storm. There must be some kind of way out of here. And the killer was walking in the rain of bombs that he himself ordered himself against the supposed so-called breakaway province of the Ukraine, the Democratic Republic or democracy of the Ukraine. The killer President Vladimir Putin of Russia, attempting and misbehaving like he's attempting to start World War III. God forbid. But anyway, though, you all, I'm gonna wrap this up now, okay? And by saying in more words that as I would usually give that of a basic intro to any social media broadcast or video of mine, including this one, if we have, well, hopefully most have the format of not only one a basic intro and then two at least one subject matter I could speak upon, give my views and opinions, or some or such, and not a couple, few, or four more. And then three, last but not least, to close it, and by saying in more words less. If you haven't gotten Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, I will hope that you would think to do so now, while the blood is still running warm in your vein, by recognizing and realizing what He Himself had done or did upon the cross of Calvary on the hill of Golgotha, suffering at the hands of some set Roman soldiers upon the orders of their superiors, you know, religious and otherwise, from centurions and Caesars to religious Pharisees and Sadducees, etc. But then, nevertheless, whereas he had gave his life upon the cross of Calvary, becoming the perfect sacrifice. Say the perfect sacrifice, the only sacrifice for you as well as for me. So that if any of us, being of whatsoever races and whatever walks of life, factions of society, lifestyle preferences, being of the old and young alike, are both of two sexual genders, males and females, representing not only the global community, but then, not only the human people, but then, nevertheless, the global community. So I say, Prince of Peace, better than my mind compared to how the Prince of Darkness attempts to confuse it. And as a backtrack here with Reno Perfect being, and also I can go on to follow to continue from where I went, that my person had last and left off, so I can finish up asking complete a form for you prior to talking the same word. Then, nevertheless, ways he went to that cross of Calvary, becoming perfect sacrifice, only sacrifice for you as well as for me. So if any of us been of whatsoever race and whatever walks of life, faction of society, lifestyle preferences, being of the old, young, like of both two sexes, being male and female, represent not only the human species, but the global community within this post-911 era of a new millennium apocalyptic day and age where the doomsday clock is now couple of few minutes to midnight compared to how formerly previous to a prior to then was the quarter midnight for these rather biblically prophetic times. Were to profess some such faith in him, and they will become and be blessed in one regard or another, in more ways one. First and foremost, for this salvation being which is the only means by which any of us can or could possibly become citizens of the kingdom of heaven. Once we were to make that transition to the great beyond the hereafter, or even while we're still here. And second of all, with his deliverance, while we're still upon the planet Earth, but in this world, upon the planet Earth, and in this world, what I mean to say, please continue rather than man compared to our perspectives. Regard whether or not I'm butchering the English language, American dialect. First of all, you have got to get this salvation while you're here. Otherwise, you have nothing coming. If you leave this world without that blood sacrifice, that fire insurance for the liquefied down hell, your final destination, if you do in that order, or like so, of a state of this order, The final destination will be the lake of fire, damn hell, with the rest of the unsaved, lost, damn human souls of unbelievers and unbelievers to be tortured and terrorized by the devil and the demon forever, compared to how we, as believing in God, as a Christian, aka Protestants, would be across that great divide that separates heaven from hell in a company of like-minded believers, as in Christians, aka Protestants, not supposed to so-called Jehovah's Witnesses, not supposed to so-called Latter-day Saints, not Catholics or any other religious cult members of false religions, but as Protestant Christians, and as we will be in the presence of God and His angels otherwise. Hey, you all take care and be safe. Be blessed, not stressed. And I'll holler at you whenever I can once again, but I'm going to be partner searching. Peace.